Alright, so we're back with Mahjong. I spent the last few days dealing with a cold, so I was hoping to stream more in the week, but I'm just happy that I get to do it at least sometime this week. We are so close. We have 180 points left until we hit Master again. It's happening. We're doing this. I almost put us into 3-player South by accident. That would have been a big mistake. Hi, Melody. Hope you're doing well. I'm just really hoping that I don't get the thing that happens a lot whenever I'm getting close to ranking up, where I just like suddenly start fumbling like with the last couple points remaining. With that said, I've been very proud of how I've been playing lately, so I think that I should be good. Let's go ahead, drop this 8. It's the most isolated tile here. Hell yeah, that's fantastic. Gives us a nice 3-sided weight. The 1 and 3 are our most useless group as far as, or are the least efficient group, but of course because it's Dora, I really want to keep that. 3-5 versus 6-8. Actually, I really should just drop the 6-8 instead of the 3-5, but that's fine. By dropping it this way, I can also, I guess, maybe have my opponents think I'm going for a Honitsu, possibly? Which might be not a great thing. Maybe it's fine, I don't know. Depends on what I end up waiting on, I guess. But an 8-3-5 to start with, at least is terrifying to look at if I were them. Let's go ahead and cut this. I'll look for a pair somewhere in here. And it's probably just going to be a Kanshan wait. I would really love if I could pick up this 3-pin. What's unfortunate though is I'm going to be waiting on a pin tile. My discards look like this. So it's going to be very hard for my opponents to actually discard what I need. I do wonder if there's a better way that I could have done this hand. I mean, again, I think that like this 3-5 should have stayed and this 6-8 should have gone instead. I wasn't entirely sure on this 5 cut either. Okay, but I picked that up. Do I want to wait on the 2? I think I want to wait on the 2. I don't like the idea of waiting strictly on the Dora and having my opponents have to like... Because my opponents aren't going to be discarding Dora. Not only do pin tiles look dangerous, but it's the Dora as well. Of course, that's going to be extra dangerous. And luckily, I've set up now this post-Riichi Suji trap. So, like, if they look for Suji, they could go like, oh, the 2 is likely to be safe. Maybe I can push that. Hopefully they'll discard it that way. Yeah, we are seeing, like, hardly any pin tiles in the discards here. Surely they're gonna drop it soon. Surely. I did wonder as well if, like, I did the right play in cutting my triplet as a pair and going for the 2 instead of waiting strictly on the Dora. Like, I would have won with that, but that's... I definitely had a reason to think that my opponents would be more comfortable dropping the 2-pin than the 3. So I don't think it was a bad decision. I'm also realizing I forgot to feed my cat before streaming, so I'm so sorry, Bean. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait at least until after this match. Little cat noises might be heard at some point on the stream. Oh, I would have had it again. That pause scared the hell out of me. Yeah, we're not winning this one, but we are going to at least not deal in. Well, we're at least going to get the payment, unless this deals in. Okay. Which actually, we 3-sided weight, we definitely could have ended up dealing in. Speaking of Hote possibilities, though, or Haite possibilities, I actually just found out right before going live that you actually can't get a Rinshan as well as a Haite. If there's one tile left in the wall and you Rinshan, it doesn't, and you win on that, of course, then it doesn't actually count as Haite, because Haite is strictly the last tile on the live wall. I found that out because I was doing a test recording against AI just to like test my audio levels. And I ended up getting what would be Haite and Rinshan. And I was so excited, and then it just didn't show up as Haite. So, a little bit let down by that, but it's good to like still be finding out like weird rule stuff about 10 years after I started playing. It's nice that there are still all these weird little exceptions that I don't know about. Thank you, Melody! Good luck with the rest of work. How do I feel about that? I think I think I'm good cutting this 9. I'm looking at the possibility here, first off of the pure straight. I also think 557 is just a nice shape in general. That might be more tempting. Did I cut the 7 though? I think I cut the 7 just to leave the straight dream alive. Okay, that's fine. I also realized I haven't checked these players' Dama rates. So I'm gonna do that after I make my discard. Okay, this looks like an easy Tanyao. Let's see Dama. 5% Dama. Master 3, I was expecting a lot more Dama, and that is in fact a lot more Dama. What about Anna? Presumably a lot of Dama, considering you just did. Yeah, okay, 14%. And you were 5%, right? Oh, that's not ideal. Oh no. Game? Oh no? Oh, okay. We're back. I hope that was just Mahjong Soul and not like... I thought my stream also didn't fuck up, but... if it did, so it goes. Right, I was gonna check your Dama rate. Because I think it was 5? Yeah, okay, 5%. You're not a Dama appreciator. You two are Dama appreciators. Let's go ahead, cut the 1 pin. I don't really need an extra group to build around, though. Well, wouldn't be bad. But now I absolutely cut that, because now if I pick up a 7-mon, then this is a 6, 7, 8, and I could find a pair elsewhere in this hand, like there. I'd love to pick up a 6, though. That would be fantastic. Not a 6-mon. I think here I just cut 8-mon. Because it would be too many groups if I were to turn this into a 6, 7, 8. I've already got plenty of groups anyway. Thinking about... No. I was thinking maybe about like the small possibility of trying to just keep that for safety, discarding this. But like it's not like it's much more safer than the 5. Okay, I'm glad to pick that up naturally. Yes, Bean, I do see you. You're very cute. I'll have to feed you after this match, okay, cat? Yes. She's clawing at the side of my leg, just trying to get my attention. Do I push here? Maybe 2 Han. This is at least Genbutsu against one of them. I would get the points that are on the table. I don't like this tile so much. I don't think it's horrible, though. It's a gamble. And it passed. Also, hey, glow in the darn. I wish my cat liked Mahjong. Well, that's technically a winning tile, but... No Yaku, please don't deal in. Long Suji never deals in. Let's go! That is gonna be permanent for A10 though. I probably should have just, well... yeah, at this point I just fold. I should have thought about the permanent for A10 last turn and just discarded something. Well, I don't know if I even had anything safer. I guess the 8-set would have been safer. Suji over here, Genbutsu over here. So I'll do that instead of trusting 1 pin over here. Let's see. Actually, all 3s were out, so the 1 pin should have been safe as well. It was probably safer than the 8. My cat is trying so hard to get my attention. I'm so sorry, Bean. I do love you. I do love you. You'll get fed after this match, okay? She's trying so hard. Bean, please. Please, cat. You can scratch at my leg, because at least you're scratching at my pants. Please do not scratch at my feet. Ah. I've got to focus on Mahjong. I'm the dealer here. I can't let this opportunity slide. It's not really a great hand. I guess, I don't know. It would be great if I had something else to build on. Like if I had like if I had a 7 here or a 5, that'd be great. Let's go ahead and drop the Haku. If I can naturally pick up another north, then I wouldn't be angry about that. Because, like, that could be a triplet, sequence here, sequence here, sequence here. Oh. Okay, my hand was not as fast as theirs. Not nearly as fast as theirs. Three five is great to build on. 7-8's great. 7-8-9 is fantastic. If I can build something around this 3, I'll be very happy. Because then I could look for a pair anywhere. Well, for example, right there. That's also another tile to build on. Not what I was hoping to see, but such is Mahjong. Probably dropping this next turn and making scene in my discards. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just make words. That's Mahjong. That's what Mahjong's about, is making funny words. Two can go. If I can pick up a 7, I'll be extremely happy. Have the second sequence. I'd have a Dora. I could also pick up a 5 and drop this 8. Or I can get that. I don't think I have much reason to keep this 8, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that for right now, and then I'll drop the 9 next. I just think the 9 would be a little safer to hold on to, because it's not immediately next to the Dora. Keep the safer south. We're setting up a nice Pinfu hand here. If I could pick up a 2 or 4 pin, I'll be extremely happy. Okay. Well, I'm going to get rid of the safety. So 2 pin, 4 pin, 6 pin, 9 pin. Any of those put me into Tenpai. 2 pin or 4 pin give me Pinfu as well, which would be incredible. It's not strictly necessary. I think it's a little too late to go with a bulging middle shape. It would put me back a Shanten, and I just don't think that's really worth it. I'm assuming that this is going to be Honitsu across from me, which is pretty scary considering that it would be a Honitsu on pin tiles, and I would have to drop one of my pin tiles. I was hoping to, if I picked up a 6 or 9 pin, to cut this 5, and then set up the Suji trap waiting on the 2. But I think that this would be too scary to drop the 5 and 2. In fact, in a few more turns, I might even start calling tiles with no Yaku, just to guarantee Tenpai. I'd call on a 6 or 9 pin, or a 4 pin, drop this. I don't think I would call on 2 pin to drop this, because I think that's a little too scary. But maybe I'd call on 2 and drop the 8? It's at least slightly safer, because it's more outside. Yeah, finally dropping a 2 pin. They're 100% going Honitsu. That's scary. I could hit Tenpai. I'm not doing it. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad. Cut the 1 pin. We're going Dama. 8 tiles left. I'm not actually looking to Roan. I'm just looking to Tsuma. Why? That's a terrifying discard. I'm amazed that they didn't get called Roan on. Do I want to trust that now? Because it's terrifying. I will trust it a little bit more than the 3 pin. Because first off, that's the third 5 that we see. I also see 6s, I see 2s, and the 8 came out recently as well. So I would expect probably not a 6-7. Wait, was the 6 pin Kabe? I didn't know 6 pin was Kabe. But hi, Worlds of Rogue. I probably shouldn't have phoned that immediately, actually. I should have thought about that for just a second, because I would like more value than just Chunomi here. But I guess we're going Chunomi here. At the very least, a fast hand like this would mean that I could keep the one, like... I could keep this player below me, which is good for last place avoidance, but I also don't want to focus on last place avoidance so much as I want to focus on, like, actually taking first at some point. That 3, I don't think it's great. It would let me be able to, like, go for a 1, 2, 3, and 3, 4, 5, but, like, then I need 2 specific tiles. Not ideal. Yeah, the 3-so is fine. But I like the option of the 6, 7, 8 more, and then looking for, like, in case I get a pair elsewhere. Cut this. Setting up the 6s as my pair. That would be better than the Ryoncon because that at least gives me an extra tile to discard. I'll drop the 3, I'll keep the safer 1-so. It's safer really just because it's an edge. I don't know if 3 should have dropped there. I already have an open hand, so why not?
No.
Chunomi yippee! It's alright. Points don't matter until South 3 anyway. Is what I'm telling myself to cope with the early call that I made. Okay. This hand's looking a lot better. Put the 2 pin here. Wisp maybe should have gone instead. Yeah, probably should have, because this hand really doesn't need honors. I think this hand can work well enough on its own. It ruins Pinfu, but like, Pinfu also requires strictly a 3-mon over here. Requires 6-mon over here, or 4, and then build off that. I need some pretty specific tiles. Okay, I did get the 6. To keep the 5 to build off of. I don't think I need it when I have both of these. Yeah, Sanshoku is definitely a possibility here. Hell yeah, Sanshoku is absolutely a possibility here. No tuner out. I'm going to discard that. I'm not going to keep it as a safety. I don't like them pushing as hard as they are. I'll keep the 4 and keep the safer 1. Or I'll drop the 4 and keep the safer 1. I think I said I'll keep the 4 first. I don't really have a reason for that. Like, technically I could build off that, drop this 7. It's just like another alternative for a possible Pinfu. It would also be risking Furryton if I did that because there's 5 in here. I don't think that would be ideal. I don't think they're quite there yet. So I shouldn't just be guessing that. I should be paying closer attention to their discards. 3 immediately cut. That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm still gonna keep the safer 1 mon for a second. That's what I was worried about, but... Actually, oh, but that killed the Sanshoku by dropping that as well. Not bad. Not bad. This hand does look like it could definitely become Pinfu. Well, because I'd still need... Okay, well, yeah, now, especially. 8 mon or 6 mon. 8 mon, of course, would be best. Probably drop this, unless I pick up a 3-cell, which could also work. 3, 5, 7. Just cut the 2. This hand feels a little bit weird. Just a little. It's mostly the 6, 7, 8, 8. But, okay, well, hang on. Cut the 9 in case I pick up a 7 as a pair. This could be Tanya. I was going to cut the 7 first and then leave the safer 9 for later, but I just don't think that's necessary right now. Hell yeah. Slam Riichi. So, Riichi, Pinfu, Ipeko. Did I already say Tanya? Riichi, Pinfu, Tanya, Ipeko, Adora 2, Hanemon. Wait, you were done with this rogue? Because I'm very far behind. I need some points here, and this makes it a Hanemon.
No. Riichi, Pinfu, Ipeko, Tanya, Dorani.
Like, you might be right, but I don't know, the way I'm seeing it, I definitely needed value there. All right. It feels weird. I'm not a big fan of this hand. That helps a little bit. Cutting east here. Trying to think of what this hand is going to be cutting next. I think... Okay, well, that's fantastic. I think a Forso isn't bad. Was also thinking about cutting the 8, but then I didn't like so many pairs. The 2-4 is great. There is a Sanshoku chance here. Now I'm going to cut the 6. And I'm going to leave this as a Ryokan. This 8... Actually, no, the 8 probably should have gone instead there. 8 would have been the better drop. But this can go now. Okay. Riichi Dora. Not very valuable, but if I can win, then that at least retains my dealer seat. I'm expecting the master player 100% to just, like, not deal my tile here. Anna-chan also, I wouldn't expect to discard it. But the way this player's playing wouldn't surprise me. I could sumo it. It is early. Hi, Abyss. How's it going? What worries me about this Kanchan is... It is, of course, first off, a Kanchan. Not ideal, but also right next to the Dora. It's going to be hard for people to drop that unless they push. Which, again, I think that Shimo-cha here is going to be very likely to push into it. The climb is going. Right now I'm at 1820 out of 2000, so I just need 180 more points. If I can do well for the next 2 games, then I should be there. It's bad, yeah. Riichi Dora 2. Still second. Still second. Picking up a 6-pin would be great. Picking up 7-so or 9-so would be fantastic, just to not have to deal with the double pairs. There is a world in which I turn this into Tanyao and drop these 9s. If I pick up like a 3-so, it could happen. Though, then of course I have to find both a 4-so and a 6-pin. Score difference between me and first, that would be 22,100. So in other words, I would need a direct Hanemon off them in order to actually take first. 8. I don't really need this as an extra pair. I'll cut the 5. I'm happy with second here, because that's going to be a very, very, very difficult difference to make up. It's right next to the Dora, so I would rather not drop that. I do have too many groups. I'm cutting to 7. What's fine early on? The 5-pin, I guess? Extra 3. Feeling rust from the timer. I'm not sure if cutting the 9s here was a great idea, but it was my immediate thought, and that's what I had to do with 5 seconds. That could turn that into a 1-3-5 if I find a pair elsewhere. Let's see. If I get... Because if I get a pair of Dora, that'd be 2 there, 1 here. How can I get the other 3? Riichi, but then this player would fold. And because there's also technically a Tanya still possible. You know what? I think here I'm cutting that 3. Even though I discarded the 5 because I was like, oh, this won't end up as a pair. Now it might end up as a pair. But if I pick that up, maybe not. I don't know if this was a good idea. I'm feeling rust from the timer, which I should not have used so much time earlier this round. I think I might just fold here. Try to drop as much safety as I can. The 2 is Suji. It's also Dora, so I'd really rather not. The 6 is Nakasuji, which is a little safer. Oh, shit. I could still push. I'm dropping the 3. You don't want it. You don't want it. You simply don't. It's one of these 2 that wants it. Let's see. Tanya, Hinfu, Dora 3. Riichi would turn into a Hane, but again, this player would fold. I can't take that. I could cut these now for safety. I could cut them for safety. Okay. Don't gotta worry about it. Unfortunately, they're probably gonna pass me. Yeah, because that's gonna be Sumodora 2. Slightly passes me. That was South 4 too. I thought that was South 3. Oh, that's unfortunate, but that's okay. -8 is acceptable. It could have been much worse. All right, I'm gonna be back in 1 second. I gotta go feed this cat real quick, so that way she stops like scratching at all of the like stuff that makes noise around here. And also stop scratching at me. Bean, do you want to go eat? Yeah, let's go get you some food. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, and I'm back. Put us in for another match. I should probably get rid of this BRB sticker. There we go. Okay. Very solid hand. That looks like Rian Shanten, not Ishanten. Yeah, definitely Rian Shanten. Is there a world where I cut these and go Honitsu? Probably not. Especially not now that I've drawn this. Cut this 8. So now I'm Ishanten. I could take that and just have, you know, Hatsunomi, but I'm not doing that. I'm not making that mistake again today. There is... I'm thinking, if I draw a 4 or 6 around here, I might look at cutting Hatsu. Just to have both Pinfu and also a possible 4, 5, 6 Sanshoku. Like, the Hatsu's great because I can call tiles, but there's also only one left. And it could be in the dead wall. I wasn't going to open it up for one Han right there. Of course, though, if I just draw like the 4 7 pin early, then I'm dropping this and going for the Champon 3-mon Hatsu. Oh, I don't like that. But you have also been dropping a lot of So tiles. There is definitely an Itsu chance here. I don't think it's likely to go that way. Alright, well that was fine, I guess. I was getting excited about my hand, but, you know, there was a lot of danger on the board, so I'm just happy not to deal in. This hand is much less solid. Like, it could end up as a 789 Sanshoku if I get very lucky. I'm not really seeing much else. Yeah, cut this. I was thinking for a second about, like, maybe it's worth it just to hold on to 2 single Yakuhai. But I think I have to cut too much efficiency elsewhere in my hand. Or alternatively, cut the Dora, which, like, I also wasn't doing that. Okay, that's solid. I think at this point, the 2s are pretty likely to just be my pair here. Because now I'm Ishanten. That's slightly gonna, or that is gonna be slightly better than the 8-9. Because this can at least upgrade again to a 5-6. Pair of Dora. Now you got me thinking. I'm gonna cut these 2s, and I'm gonna look at a possible 6-7-8 Sanshoku. Possible. I need to draw the 6-0, of course. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Just hope to draw one of these 2 7s. Stop that. Stop calling Riichi. Still pushing a little. Because I don't really have much safety in the first place. I have Like, this 9, this 8, and then what? Can't call that. I'm gambling a little on it. It's only a little bit of a gamble. They did drop the 9 early. I don't like the 8 being on the inside of that. I prefer that being on the outside, but... yeah, at this point, I think I might just fold. Starting to dislike some of the tiles I was picking up. Really didn't want to drop this 3 pin. I figured I'd pretty much have to if I wanted to keep pushing. Now it's Suji, and there is an Itsu chance if I want to keep pushing. I probably shouldn't be thinking about that. Let's see, because this is also going to be Suji. Yeah, fuck it, I'm folding. And also blocking the spot. How do I remove the message? God, I don't fucking understand Twitch sometimes. I don't get how to remove this message. Oh well. Needless to say, don't click the link. Wait, did I do in there? I wasn't paying attention. I might have even been too caught up in the Twitch stuff and just like auto dealt in from timer. Do I need to full screen this in order to do this? Because I don't see... There is no trash can near the name. Oh well, whatever. Again, I'm not dealing with that right this second. I gotta focus on Mahjong. There is a 678 Sanshoku here. Could be Pinfu if I pick up a 7 Mon. That doesn't really do anything for me. I think even 8 might be slightly better. Maybe? Maybe? I think both are, frankly, awful. Okay. So there's the 678. If I can get a 6 pin as well, that's on Shoku. But at the very least, this is... Well, I guess it isn't guaranteed Tanyao, because I could pick up a 9 pin. Hell yeah, let's go! I'll reach that. Reach, Pinfu, Tanyao, Sanshoku, Dora. Give me my Hanemon. It's gonna be harder for Toyman to defend when they have 2 called groups. There we go. Hell yeah, that's exactly who I wanted to hit as well. That should put me in first. Slightly.
インフタイヤを3色同順ドラハネマン
There we go! Alright. Interesting shapes here. I was thinking for just a second about a 1-2-3 Sanshoku here, and keeping the 1. I just don't think that there's great odds of that. I'm also looking at the possibility of maybe a Chanta here, if I can pick up a 1-so. So I was considering dropping the 6. But I think really the way this hand is going to go is draw either a 3-mon or complete one of these pairs. And then have a less than ideal final weight. Yeah, cut the 9. Give up on the Chanta Dream. It's Nagashi? Okay, you know what? I trust you. I trust you. It's definitely gonna happen. It's not happening. I'm sorry. I wish. I wish. I just don't see it. I really don't like the idea of dropping the Devil East right now. Because this hand... These 3 groups are very, very awkward in conjunction with each other. Hang on. Y'all, there's a chance. We have a small chance. A minuscule chance. A now even more minuscule chance, and you know what, I just don't believe in the dream. I wish I could believe in the dream. But yeah, there was no way I was gonna call the wins. Not with a single East and a single West. If I had a pair of one of those, I might. I think here, I might just have to drop the double East. Hope for something around the 4 and drop these. If I don't pick up a 3-mon, of course, which I would love to just pick up a 3-mon. I could also just drop my Norths, really. Frankly, I don't like this double pairweight when there's 1 South and 2 Norths out. I think that's horrible. Especially when I also have this. This hand is just very awkward to work with. So I'm cutting the most awkward part of it to try to make something else work. And right now I am back to Ishantan already. I don't usually exhaust the timer like this, but it is just much easier to end up exhausting it when I'm streaming, because I'm also like trying to verbally talk through my train of thought. What? Cut Gambutsu. The 1 pin is very likely safe because 2 of them are already cut and they've dropped a 4, so it makes the Suji trap very unlikely. They would have to have a Tonki weight on it. Drop a 5 pin because that's Gembutsu. The 8 pin is not. Just cut that. Like, let's be real here. I am almost certainly strictly folding. With 9 tiles left, I might still call Forso or Southwind just to hit Tenpai and drop this. Yeah. We're cutting the 1-mon here. I really don't like discarding the 5-mon, but if I have to hit Tenpai, I might do it. No. The only way... Well, I shouldn't say the only way. I'd much rather lose a couple thousand points from not being in Tenpai, or even just 1,000. I'm glad they were the only one in Tenpai. I do wonder, you might have been paying attention to this. This might be why you're going Nagashi in chat right now. But did I actually have enough? Do you know, for Nagashi? Like, if I had strictly focused on just discarding terminals and honors, would I have gotten it? Yeah, because I didn't think I was quite there, but it definitely was close. Really not a fan of this hand. It's another real awkward one to work with. Really need to draw 3-mon. Need to draw 8-pin. Or at least 6-pin to build around this. Let's go ahead and drop this 9, because the 6 basically takes its place. Okay, actually, you know what? I see the line. I see the line. I just need either... Well, I need 2 of the 7-so, 8-pin, or 3-mon. Unfortunately, the hand was not as fast as theirs. Still have a small lead over them, though. Anytime I start with a hand like this, where I only have, like, the 1 and 9-mon, I immediately go... I just immediately, like, feel like I'm playing Sanma. Yeah, okay, I think here I just hold on to Yakuhai rather than these single terminals. There's a chance for Toy Toy here. There's a Tanya chance as well. Yeah, so I'm actually going to cut the red dragon here. Keep the safer south for just a second. Because I have plenty of groups. I don't need to worry about this. I have plenty of groups that I can force the Tanya with. So I'll call that. Drop this, and we're forcing it. Keep the safer south. I mean, I definitely... I'll cheat that. Ruin their Ipatsu at least. It is scary, because I have very little to actually play defensively at all with, and this hand is only worth 1 Han. But I guess I effectively get double value from that because of the point stick on the table now. Oh. They're not waiting on Dora. I could feel it. I really hope somebody drops these soon. I really... Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. That Riichi was scary. Thank you for my Tanya no Mi. Okay. Pin tiles look great here. Actually, most everything in my hand looks great here. Easy Tanyao. If I pick up a 5, so this is Pinfu. And if I pick up a 7 Mon, then I just drop this 4 and then eventually drop this 6 with 2 3-sided groups. On like a 3 Mon as well, this goes, or 6. Yeah, very, very, very solid start to this hand. Not worrying about the Dora. Because if I go 7, 8, 9, you know, first off, I'd be missing a pair anyway at that point, which would be not ideal. But also then I would have... Hang on, I gotta think for just a second. Is that... I think the 8 might actually be better. I don't know, maybe that's silly. Also, I'm realizing 4, 5, 6 Sanshoku here. So I actually could have called on this one earlier. But yeah, if I had the 7, 8, 9, that would have ruined Tanya, which is worth just as much as the Dora anyway. I like the 3-sided weight. I like the Sanshoku chance more, rather than this possible double pair weight that I could have had. I didn't really want to cut this. I should have just cut the 8, really. The 8 wasn't affecting the Sanshoku chance or anything. Yeah, this 8 was actually just bad to keep over this, but still seems very likely to hit Tenpai early. That's going to be worse than this 4, 6 if I were to start dropping these. It also means now that if I pick up a 7, I don't really want to risk furry 10, so these would just go. Or, sorry, so I wouldn't worry about it. Unlike my previous plan where these would go. Shit, of course. Of course now I have to draw it. Do I believe in what I just said? Yeah, I do. I do believe in it, if nothing else, because of the Sanshoku. I like believing in the Sanshoku. Sanshoku would never betray me. I was really hoping that Kamichai here would have dropped something that would have put me into Tenpai sooner, like, other than the 1 pin, which obviously I just didn't see the Sanshoku at the time. I mean, the 6 pin seems pretty safe. I'm alright with it. 2 4s, 2 8s out, now 3 8s. Seemed alright. They were dropping a good bit of pin tiles. I trust that a little bit less. I'm actually gonna... There was probably a bad decision there to keep this. I probably should have just cut 9. Okay, you know what? It works out. It works out. We have Tanyao, we can Dama, we can go for the 5 cell. Definitely planned. Definitely totally planned. Alright, move us into South 3. Make me dealer. Solid start. Loving the 2 Dora. Well, I say solid start strictly because of the 2 Dora. The rest of the hand, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's like okay. I think I'm gonna cut 8-so here. Look at the possibility of getting Yakuhai. In which case, I would cut this 7. But no, these go now. On 5 pin, we have Pinfu. Could also build around this 4 or 6. Like that. Let's turn off calls. There we go. Do I Riichi? Do I Dama this? It's turn 5. I'm just gonna Riichi. I think this is a perfectly fine one to Riichi. Make my opponents back down a little bit. Keep them from pushing. And there we go. Oh yeah. So Riichi, Pinfu, Riichi Pinfu Tsumo Dora 2. Nice Mangan.
リーチツノピンフドラ2
Gives me a very, very solid lead here. This hand sucks, but frankly, I think that's alright. Because if I end up folding this hand, then we just move into the last round with me having this solid lead. I don't need to keep my dealer seat going at this point. Alright. There is a chance that this hand could end up as being workable, but I would need some pretty specific tiles to make that work. Could end up as Tanyao. Drop the 1-so. Pick up like a 4 in here. Probably not happening. But possible. I'll drop 1-so. I'll keep the safer red dragon to fold with. Now surely, with a single honor left in my hand, this is Nagashi Mangan. Nagashi Mangan and 8-pin, I believe.
チー
Yeah, this hand could definitely just end up as Tanyao. I'm not going to call that 4 because this is a nice Ryaman shape. If they dropped the 7-so instead, I absolutely would be calling that. Or... well, no, I don't think that's ideal. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and discard that. I'll keep safer tiles. Absolutely not conning that. Under no circumstances. I would love to press the funny con button, but it's kind of horrible here. It's the only it's one of the ways that my opponents could catch up is if I press the funny con button and they end up getting a Dora bomb. I could pawn this. If I need to fold, I can still fold with these.
チャンスは残り少ないですね
And now that 3-pin has passed, I can drop that. Okay. If it, if it actually passed, then I could have dropped it. But again, that's perfectly fine, because now they're all going to be competing for second. And I am going to be very, very hard to touch unless somebody gets a direct Hanemon off me. It's also a solid hand. There could even be a 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku if I get very lucky. But I would need to get very lucky. And Ishan 10 already because of that pair. If I just pick up a 6 mod, I can drop this. Or that. Yeah, Sanshoku's dead. Sanshoku is not happening in the slightest now. Put pressure on them. I actually really shouldn't have Riichi'd this, I think, because, like, these opponents... It's South 4. I don't think it's really going to change whether they push or fold. This won't get them to, like, back off. This can only really put me in danger, I think. But I still do feel confident that I'm winning this hand. So I think it's not ideal to call Riichi here. I think it's kind of bad, but, like, it's not the worst. It might slow them down at least. Maybe. Come on, you want to deal my tile so badly. 3 or 6 mod. Drop those right now. I believe in you. You know they're gonna pass. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, hell yeah. So, one more good game now, and we should be master. Because how much? Yeah, 122? So we need like 60... like 64 or something? Actually, I wasn't paying attention. I could have done the math right there on that screen and I skipped it. Thank you, Darn. I appreciate it. I definitely felt a lot better about that game than I did the first match. All right, let's get in here and then check and see exactly how many points I need. A second might not be enough, unless it's like a very good second place. I might still need a first to hit master. But first, let's look at this hand. Alright. Eh, it's fine. Could end up Honitsu. Just 66 more. I'm so close. I'm right there. Alright, what are these players' Dama rates? 10%. 6%. Yeah, right now I think this is going to be a Honitsu. It's going to be hard for this to become much else. And 9%. So, hang on, what were you again? 10%, okay. I'll cut a west. I'm not cutting these just yet. I might do like Haku no Mi. Okay. Yeah, at this point I think I'm doing Haku no Mi. Now that they've called Riichi. I think that changes my plans. I will call. Drop tune. It's not likely that you'd be waiting on it. That's pretty nice. North is likely safe just because it's an off wind. And I'll happily call pawn if I get the chance.
これいらない。
These Gemboots if I drop this. I could possibly use Toy Toy. I'm dropping the 1 instead. Yeah. Okay. It was a bit of a gamble as to whether it would deal in or not. But I like the extra efficiency that dropping the 1 so gives me versus like forcing Toy Toy here strictly. Because obviously player cross me is in Tenpai already. I don't really have time to mess around too much. So if I end up just picking up like a 3 or 6 one, then I'm fine with that and cutting this. Actually on 6, I'd probably cut this 7. Okay. I say I'm pretty happy with my hand, but I'm fine with the way that went. And I'm also very glad that we didn't go Honitsu, because I absolutely would have dealt in with my 4s. My Montiles are looking pretty solid. I like this Ryoncon. It's nice to just have a triplet. I would definitely love to build off of my 4-pin or 5, so. But like, this hand's like, it's fine. It's okay. It's not ideal. I think I'd rather leave the option for a Yakuhai instead of worrying so much about this 1. Like, the 1's probably not getting used anyway. Same with these, but like, if they do get used, they're gonna be more valuable. Okay, well, that's worrying. So either I drop the tune now or I never drop the tune, and I think, frankly, I'm probably never dropping the tune. This is sitting locked in my hand. They're not getting that from me. I guess, like, if I pick up a 3-pin, then there is a chance where, like, I could choose to wait on this as a pair weight. Eventually. Surely somebody else wants to drop this tune. Test the waters for me. Surely. Surely somebody wants to drop the tune against these 2 called dragons. Putting that first, just because it's Genbutsu. I don't think that they're, like, in Tenpai waiting on a 9. But they might be in Tenpai. It's at least next to one of their starting tiles. And the 4 passed recently as well, which it's Tsuji to that. 9 has passed now. Frankly, the 9 should have dropped before the 7-pin. Yeah, I don't think anyone is dropping this red dragon ever. Not unless they drop it first. Yeah, Chun Chicken. I'm just folding. I'm folding against everyone here at this point. I'm just cutting these ones. Get me out of here.
パンドラに
They had to have had a pair of reds, right? Welcome back, Reem. Also, I'm glad that your surgery went well. Or at least better than last time. I'm loving all the Dora in this hand. Oh yeah, no, I absolutely will be checking that if I remember. Checking for if they had the tunes. I'm sure they had to have. There is a chance this could end up as Pinfu, which means I might end up dropping one of these. Not ideal. There is also a Cheetoy chance. I do have 4 pairs.
リーチ
Oh, well, I don't like the call. Oh, I can imagine it would, Reem. I'm just glad it all went well. Do you know about, like, how long you're gonna be dealing with that tingling? Okay. A month isn't, like, too horrible. And yeah, I think here I'm just either going to fold or I'm going to... Which I don't really have much to fold with. I was gonna say my other option was I might just go Cheetoy.
リーチ
I was getting worried because of how little safety I actually had in that hand, but... You know, it doesn't matter if they Tsumo. Alright, this hand's looking pretty solid. There is a possible So Itsu. Nine Mon's not looking great, so that's gonna be an easy cut before I cut these. Oh, never mind. Now I guess there is a 789 Sanshoku possibility. It would be too many groups, though. But... say that I get, like, a pair in here or something, you know? I could force it. Or I could force the Itsu. I think either way this 5-pin is going. Where's the Itsu? It's one Han. I'm gonna do it. Not calling on that just yet because I might be looking for a pair. Well, I will definitely be looking for a pair in one of these. I'm also realizing the 5-pin definitely shouldn't have been cut that early because it was right next to the Dora. I gotta get better at checking that immediately. One thing I like about Riichi City versus Mahjong Soul, and now I'm gonna be cutting one of these. Which one? I think I cut my Mon tiles. One thing I like about Riichi City versus Mahjong Soul is you get the option to turn off like different hints. Whatever hints you want to turn off, you can turn them off. And I really like turning off the shiny Dora tiles. Even though, of course, like they make the game nicer to look at, it's also nice to just like force myself to actually look at what the Dora is. Whereas on Mahjong Soul, I get very lazy and I just don't check that most of the time. That's worrying. And picking up a tile Suji to the Dora is also very worrying. But I'm dropping it. And it's safe. This is right next to their last discard before Dora. Or before Riichi. But I think I trust that more than dropping Dora. Not to mention, of course, just I would like to have the value of keeping Dora. Ugh. Stop giving me these scary tiles. Give me some safety. Give me some safety, or better yet, give me a 4-pin. Alright, that's safety at least. I don't like it. I don't like that at all. Yeah. I picked it up and I was getting a horrible vibe from it, but I was like, man, what else do I cut? And I didn't have time to think because of the timer. Oh, the Dora-san. No. Oh, the darkened tiles. Like for the Tsumogiri discards. Because, yeah, they are definitely helpful. At least for most people. I don't know. I find them distracting. But that's just me. I definitely know a lot of folks who really, really love having those, so I cannot blame you for wanting it. There is... I'm gonna cut the 6. There is a Sanshoku chance here. If I can pick up a 7-pin. And I could even... Would I consider forcing it if, like, I end up getting a 7-so? It's difficult to keep track of hand placement in Mahjong Soul, because it all just moves very quickly. Okay, you know what? I think we're forcing this. Tanya Sanshoku. Because I need some value here. I need to come back from the 7,700. I say that, but also, like, if I get the chance to call, I might just call and take the 2 Han. Oh, I'm not taking the first one, though. I'm not taking the first one. There's still 3 7-pin left. It's very tempting, too, but I do need more than the 2 Han, if I can. I think that's a decision that Mako would yell at me for, not taking that, but I feel like I need to draw it myself. I did leave myself, because like back when I had the pair of 9s and I had the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, I at least left myself with 4 separate tiles to be able to hit Tempai on, whereas now I only have 2. So I'm not entirely sure that cutting the 9s was a great idea either, and trying to force the Sanshoku. The Sanshoku that, frankly, I don't really fully believe in unless I... excuse me. Unless I call tiles. Might have put myself in a... I definitely put myself in a difficult decision here. A difficult position. Taking that, that's at least more tiles that can put me in Tempai, because now I can also get in Tempai from a 3 or a 6. Or also a 1-4. Or an 8. Do I do that? Wait on the 7. It would be the last 7. I think it's awful. So I'm not calling Riichi. But this player has dropped a lot of So tiles, so I would think that they would probably not be going for the 6 So. Especially first off, it's half Suji from the 3, and it's also close to this early discard here. That 4 is very scary. Scary enough that I think I fold my pair. I might chi if I can just to hit Tempai again. Okay. You know, I'm glad I didn't discard the 4. I was worried I was being overly defensive, but I didn't deal in. I'm sorry for your tummy, Nano. I'm very happy to hear that it means I'm gonna win though, because if I win this game, I am in the Jade Room. I just need 60. I just need 66 more points. That's nothing. That's 1 win. Let's see. There is a 3, 4, 5 Sanshoku here. It's possible. Yeah, no, my score is horrible right now, but I'm dealer, so that's all that matters. Not calling on that. Hoping for the Sanshoku. Okay. Well, there's still a chance of this being a 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku, or a 3, 4, 5. Both are still possible. I'm gonna keep the 8 So for the possibility of a Tanyao, because I could drop these, add some value with that. Oh? Disconnect? Nope, they're back. Alright. We have Pinfu set up. We have a possible 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku on the table. We have a possible Ipeko. We have Tanya. Well, we have a possible Tanyao if I pick up the 4. If I get the Sanshoku. Question is, would I chi a 4 to guarantee the Sanshoku? I'm worried about the speed of the hand. I'm worried about Shimacha's speed here. I'm also worried about that call as well. I probably would at this point. Okay, don't have to. With both of them pushing, I'm reaching this. So we have Reach, Pinfu, Ipeko, and possibly Tanyao and Sanshoku. This would drastically help me come back if I can get the 4. Okay, didn't get the 4, but that is still a win. Do I hit Ura? No Ura, that's fine. Not a big fan of this one. It's not horrible. If I could pick up like a 3-pin, I'll be happy. If I could pick up something around this 4, I'll be happy. If I could pick up the 3 so, just finish this off, not have to worry about it later, I'd be happy. Okay, that's something around the 4. Thank you, Darn. Sleep well. I'm gonna leave that 1 for a second for the possible Itsu here. Because if I can get a 2 and a 3, then that's something. It's probably not the way this hand is gonna develop, but maybe. I think it's worth keeping this over the single 2-pin right now. I don't really need the 9. Maybe it would have been worth keeping it over, like, this 6. It probably would have been. Does that 5 do anything for me? It's something else to build off of, but do I need that right now? I really don't. Not unless it's like a 2 or a 3 mon. I feel like I shouldn't be discarding the 7. It would feel bad to discard it, and I'm trusting that, so. Okay. We do have the Itsu set up, if I can pick up the 3 mon. If I get very lucky, we can make this Itsu Pinfu. Trust this. 8-pin, of course, is Gambutsu. 7-pin is right next to it, and this was a very early discard. So it surprised me a little bit if they're going for it. It is also now Kabe. Okay. Well, not ideal, but they didn't hit me. Unfortunately, that was my last time as dealer. So now things are going to be hard. I was really hoping for that value from the Itsu in that hand. Hand could be Tonyo. There's technically a 6, 7, 8 on the table. I kind of don't like that one. Yeah, you know what? I don't like that one. I'm dropping it. I like the Tonyo chance a little bit more. Three pairs. can at least pawn... but why would I want to pawn with Tanyao? Because that's just Tanyao Nomi at that point. I shouldn't have dropped that second one. I probably should have dropped like the 7-so. So I'm gonna make up for it and do that here. Because this can be Pinfu instead, if I could pick up like a 3-mon. I mean, Shitoi was a possibility, but with only 3 pairs, I didn't like it. I guess I had 4 at the time, because like I did have this pair of 1s before. Still, I think that if you have other options, then Chitoi is just bad. If you have other options, though. I can cut that too. I think I do just cut that too. And then these two are going to be going next because I have plenty of other groups. Start with the 7-mon because I could pick up like a 4-pin and connect these two. Give me another side to build off of for a possible 3-sided. Or I could pick that up. It's still one too many groups, so one of these is almost certainly being dropped. But if I pick up the 4 or the 6-so, that does mean that I could guarantee Tanyao. Okay, hang on. I could guarantee Tanyao. Again, on a 4-so or 6-so. 6 would be more likely, because 3 9s are out. I guess technically there's also a 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku still available, technically, but like, it's basically not. I'm getting the feeling that I should trust this more. First off, it's more likely to be Tanyao, and I need the value. But I also just feel better about the 6 coming out. Yeah, cut that. I don't like both of these being pretty dangerous, but I actually probably should have cut 2 instead because I already discarded it, but I was only looking at my opponent's discards. Alright, now I'll keep the safer 9. So we're going Riichi Pinfu. Or well, at least Pinfu. 16 tiles left. I don't know if I'm going Riichi. And also I'm not hitting Tenpai. Oh. The Tanya Nomi hurts. I gotta get out of last. I'm really hoping I can at least take second. That would be ideal. I'd be happy with a third. I just really don't want last. Because obviously, Mahjong Soul. I think I'm just going Honitsu here. I got enough groups for it. Kind of. Like, I'll be looking for a pair. Assuming that I can call both of these. No, I don't see this becoming Honroto. As much as I would love it to. I will absolutely do Honitsu. I think, yeah, even if I pick up a 3-so, I think I still... Okay, yeah, absolutely I fold the... Or absolutely I drop these now and just go Honitsu. But I was thinking that even on a 3-so, I might have just dropped the 2, 3, 4 still. Now the question is, If a white dragon comes out, do I do the funny thing? I should have kept that 9 in case I got a pair, but by dropping it, I'm hoping to at least hide the Honitsu a tiny, teensy little bit. I don't think it really helps, though, when it's a 9. How do I feel about waiting strictly on the east if I get to call on north? Don't gotta worry about it. Toy, though. There is a toy here. I'm roning you, absolutely. So Honitsu, Dora, Haku, Seatwind, nice little Mangon puts me up in second. For just a split second, I was considering denying and being, because I was like getting in my head like, oh, I could go for the toy though. I could get that extra value before it just hit me like, no, I have plenty of value already. I'm taking second. 789 Sanshoku? Question mark? $789 Sanshoku? Question mark? Real? Real? I will absolutely be calling on an 8-pin. That's a little awkward, though. If I draw an 8-pin myself, then I don't take Sanshoku, and I just Riichi dropping the 7, I think. Go for the 4-7 wait. But if I get the chance to call for the 8-pin... but then I'm risking Furry 10 by drawing a 6. Okay. So I go for the 2-5 wait. It's not ideal. You know, it's really not ideal. I'm doing it, though. Because I've dropped this 4 very early, I'm hoping that others will look for safety tiles around there and drop the 2-mon, the last 2-mon, or, you know, a 5-mon for me. They also don't know that I have this pair, so it might be a little easier for them to drop the 2-mon. Especially if somebody has like a pair of 3s, and they'll see that as Kabe. Okay, there we go. Second place. That still doesn't push me to master. I'll need one more good game. Yeah, plus 43. I just need 23 more points. I'm right there. I'm right there. One more good game. I'm gonna do another match. I will go pee real quick, so I'll be right back. Okay, I lied. Roommate's in the bathroom. I'm gonna suffer for this next match. Hey, so it goes with having roommates. I just gotta finish the match quick. I just gotta get a Yakuman in East 1. Ugh.
よろしくお願いします。
Not an ideal start.
楽しく対局しましょうね。
There is technically a 3-4-5 Sanshoku possible. I mean, I could absolutely end up doing that Ream. If I get like an early Riichi at some point, I could just choose to run to the bathroom immediately. But I'll be fine.
しまった。ドラを出しちゃった。戻ってこーい。って言ってもダメだよね。
I don't like the third pair. But I'll keep it. Actually, no, fourth pair. I forgot these fives as well. I was thinking like I could maybe build off this 3. As like a reason to keep this, but like, yeah, no, I still have 3 pairs in my hand that would be, 3 other pairs in my hand that would be a bit annoying to work with. There is a Chitoi possibility because of it. It's potential for it. I think having all these pairs does mean that it's a little bit more likely, but I could be looking at a 3-4-5 Sanshoku. Becomes 3-5-7. I can drop this 8. 3 so goes next. I really, really, really don't like these 3 pairs. They're so awkward to work with. 3 other pairs aside from this 3, I mean. Yeah, cut the 3. Does that change things for me? I think I still cut the 5. Because I can still build off of this. Why is there... Okay. Why was the tile floating like that for a second? Really not a fan here. Let's see, is there any Genbutsu against both of them? I really don't think so. Could just drop my pair of Wests. I'm gonna do that. Okay. Perfectly fine. My hand was awkward. And also their hand is small. I'm just glad that my West didn't deal in. Okay. Honitsu. Possible Toy Toy. Not conning though. Possibly not Honitsu now. Possible Chitoi? Did I pick up a West or a 5? No, I'm poning. If I pick up a 5, so these go. And then I just force the Honitsu, but I think right now I'm just forcing Toy Toy. This hand is so much easier to work with than the last one, though. I'm very happy to have an easy hand to work with. The only decision I have to make, really, is, you know, if I call, or if I, like, get a triplet of the 9-pin or 8 so, then I have to figure out, okay, you know. Oh, actually, no, even then I don't gamble. It's just more of a gamble of, like, or not gamble, it's more of a decision of, like, do I want to even keep this 5 around for a possible 3 or 6, and then ruin the toy toy? I think with 2 calls across from me, I'm just taking it. I'm good with the 1 Han. It's fine. Go ahead, turn on auto roan. Okay, well, I was hoping you didn't need that, because then I certainly could have, but I could have used it. Alas. Let's see. Possible 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku. Possible Honitsu, but like, I really wouldn't want to discard this. Also, at this point, it would be a Chinitsu, because I wouldn't be keeping single honors. Is that 8 better? I don't know if keeping this 8 is better than this 3, but I do like to gamble on the small chance that this ends up as a Chinitsu. If I can cultivate it in that direction... Okay. No, it's dead. It's dead. It's dead already. But you know it's not dead. Tanyao is never dead. As long as I can pick up a 6 so, or alternatively I can call tiles and just drop this group entirely because I have plenty of groups. Man, stop. Stop this. You're supposed to let me win. And I don't like picking up that 9. Okay. Again, it's off the same player as the, well, I guess the second round, or the second one was a Tsumo. But same player as their first win. Okay. Solid start. Very solid start. Yeah, this is all very great to build off of. Also, we do have another 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku chance. So because of my rank, because of just needing 23 more points, I don't need to get first. If I get a Mangon off of the Shimacha, I'm happy with that. Because that would end the game with me in first. That's interesting. Yeah, I just cut the 6, 7. Giving up on Sanshoku, keeping the Dora. It was only a small Sanshoku chance anyway, because I would still need the 7 Mon as well. Keep the 9 Mon, because it's likely to be a little safer. 8 pin is 2 cut, and this player has already called tiles, so since they haven't called the 8, this is likely to be safer against them. And it's also, of course, Genbutsu across from me as well. I also didn't realize... Oh, never mind. Okay, they're back. I was gonna say, I didn't realize that they were disconnected. I guess it was probably just for, like, a turn. Alright, keep the west. It does suck that as soon as I dropped this 6-7, I picked up this 8, but sometimes Mahjong will just do that. Drop west, because I don't really completely trust the 1-1 over here. Shit. 2 Riichis. Okay, well, again, that's second place right now. I'm second by doing nothing. I'm happy with it. It's terrifying a little bit to see this number across from me, but like, you know, I'm not gonna complain about being second from doing nothing. Yeah, this also looks like an easy Tanyao. Yeah, cut the 8. Unsure whether these are gonna end up as my pair or whether it's gonna be like a pair of 6s attached to a 5-6. Okay. Cut the 4. This hand's looking very solid for just like standard Tanya no Mi. I guess it would be Tanya Dora if I pick up a 7-pin. Do I reach waiting just on the Dora? I don't think I do. Especially when this can very easily turn into Pinthu if I pick up basically anything around here. Two pin, 4-pin, 5-pin, and of course I could just draw my tile myself. I'm fine with that. So, Tanya Dora Tsumo. Nice 3-han hand. We continue to drag Shimocha lower and lower. Pair of east, I can easily call tiles here. And a pair of whites now. Yeah, not much else to say. This hand looks like another one that's going to play itself. I'll just easily call tiles and not have to think. Well, I guess eventually I'm going to have to think, because now I have too many groups. But that can be saved for after I discard this. Well, that drops south. And then presumably drop 2 and 4. Yes, absolutely. Okay. We can hope for 3-han here. It wouldn't be... Okay, that is going to be 3-han. It still won't be enough to kill Shimocha here. I don't believe. It also definitely won't be because I'm not hitting them with it. I'm hitting Tanomin,
ハクトンドラ
my Kami-chan. It's another easy hand to just call tiles with if I want to just go Hakunomi. But would I really want to go Hakunomi? Fuck it. The answer is yes, I do. This is probably a bad decision. I didn't need to try to fish for a second Yakuhai. Absolutely keep Dora. It's not too much of an efficiently loss to cut the two, though. I think that's fine. It's just not, like, completely ideal. With the Dora, if I get a pair... Cut the double east. If I get a pair of Dora, that would be enough to kill either of these two, I believe. I don't know if it's going to happen, though, because if I'm able to hit Tenpai, I think I just take it, and I think I would have just dropped the Dora in that instance. I think the Toyman is just going for Tanya Nomi. They're happy to just push the game forward. So if I end up dealing into them, it also wouldn't be a big issue. Just this is my chance to, like, more easily knock one of these two down below the winning, or knock them below 0, so the game can just be over. I think I will drop Dora here for the extra efficiency. I guess it's not much efficiency because there's only one 4-pin left. I wasn't paying attention to the 4 that was in this call already. Could still come up very easily, in fact, because it shows that these players don't really seem to want it so badly. That is Tenpai. 5-pin 8-mon. Judging from my discards, folks probably think I'm going for Honitsu. So the 8-mon might be hard for them to drop, but they may still discard the 5-pin. And the 8 could still come out too if they push. Okay, and I could just draw it myself. It's still not much. It's Hakunomi, but I can retain my dealership, so I can, again, continue to hope to knock one of these two, my Kami or my Shimo, down below 0. Oh, pair of Dora! Let's go! I'll cut Shun here. Because, of course, it's already one cut from being the Dora indicator. Absolutely, I'm taking that. Okay. I have a long gun set up now. 12,000 points. On Sumo, it still wouldn't be enough to kill. On Sumo, both of them would be just barely alive. But if I can roll on one of them... I don't think I'd call for that because there was a chance that, like, I get a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and then leave these as my pair. Also, this 2-2-3 is just a very efficient group anyway, so I can just get tiles around it myself. I didn't need to call on that one for it. Boom this. Drop the 6. Look for the 4-7. And I'll keep the 2s as my pair. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. If I cut the other group, then I would have been in Tenpai. But now I can also just be in Tenpai like this and have a nice 4-7 weight. I think I just auto-run. If I end up sumoing, you know, I wouldn't want to pass that up because then that's just furry 10. If I end up hitting Toyman with it, that's also fine because that could be enough to drag me into first, which is unnecessary. Okay, so these two continue to live, but they're both right on the edge. They are right on the precipice of being knocked down below 0. Yo, I think we're hitting Master after this game. This is looking very, very, very likely. Unless a Yakumon happens. I'll just cut this 3. Yeah, the double knockout is possible. Actually, yeah, that is actually very funny. Double knockout by no 10. It would be kind of incredible. Cut the 6 pin. This gives me more of an opportunity for pairs, because I can use either the 2 or the 5 as a pair here. If I don't want to use these 4s. I also really want to be watching their Tsumogiri versus Tadashi a little bit closer. You know, no. I was considering just like maybe dropping this 9 going Tanyao, calling that. I think it would be pretty bad though. I don't trust the Shimocha here. Yeah, that's why. They do live. And sadly, they also don't kill Tanamin. So the game does continue. just trying not to like lose my focus. Because it would suck to like come this far and then to suddenly lose my focus, have this player like get some ridiculous dealer hand. In a situation like this, the only way that I end up losing second place is just by dealing into a big dealer hand. And they can Riichi now, so that would be extra value. That's a possibility for them. Keep the safer white dragon, I think. And the safer south wind as well. Yeah, I'll let the Toyman push. I've already dropped a 9, so the 789 Sachoku is effectively dead. I'm just cutting the 8. I could still build off this 7. I was considering dropping it, but... There is the Itsu here as well. I just need 2 and 6. I'm fine with an Itsudora hand. It would be enough to at least kill Tanomin. It wouldn't quite be enough. Well, hang on. No. No, it wouldn't quite be enough to kill my Shimocha. Not unless I could also Riichi it. Or if I get Pinfu. Because if I just draw the 8-pin myself, then I have Pinfu set. Would I Dama if I get Pinfu? I think especially now that they've called Riichi, the answer is yes. Again, I just don't want to deal into that. I'll just fold. Wish should have gone instead, probably. But I think one side's fine as well. We could see this end the game if my Kamicha, Tanomin, is not in Tenpai, but now they probably are after that call. Yeah. That's fine, that's fine. And yeah, I would have had to drop that 5 if I wanted to stay in Tenpai with the Itsu. So I'm glad that I didn't deal in. Triplet of South. Easy hand. Unfortunately, now this won't be enough to kill Tanomin. So we are looking to do probably a full match rather than ending this early, unless I Riichi like this. Good luck. Riichi, Nan, Dora, nice 3-han hand. If either of these two deals in, then I take second. And if my Toyman deals in, then I could take first, though it wouldn't end the game. Sumo would make it 4-han for a Mongon. You know what, yeah. I think Sumo also puts me in first and ends the game. Come on. Come on. Just a 2 or a 6 mon. Both of these two players are pushing. They can very easily end up dealing in. And they do. That's game. That's oh, the double run.
Riichi, nan, dora.
Plus 70. I needed, I think it was plus 24 was all I needed. So with that, we are back to master. Oh, I'm so fucking happy. I am exhausted though. Oh. I'm gonna check real quick. So when I got back to Mahjong Soul, it was with this cool cat right here. Oh, I didn't realize you could click that and see the scores. That's interesting. You can definitely see a lot less 4th places after that. I definitely feel like I've improved, so it was good to like actually get myself back on the grind for this. Oh. But with that big goal out of the way, I gotta go fucking pee. I gotta use the bathroom so bad. I am going to... You know what? We're gonna raid Monica Ray. She is not playing Mahjong, but she's playing Alan Wake. And I've been enjoying her streams lately. So, Monica Ray. Oh, would help if I did /raid instead of just /Monica Ray. Actually, before I send y'all off on the raid, also hi Fireflux. Hi Fireflux. I'm tripping over my words now. Yeah, bad timing because I am just leaving the stream, but I am gonna be streaming on Sunday most likely. There is the Tiles for Trans Open, so I'm excited to play that. And then also next weekend as well, I'm going to be streaming my own tournament. The Click Clack 2v2 tournament is going to be coming back. We're going to be doing that again the weekend after this one. So 29th and 30th. Yeah, thank you all for watching. If anyone would want to join the 2v2 tournament, there is a link to my Discord down below the stream. But I'm gonna go ahead and do this /raid and send us off that way. Thank y'all for watching.